Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Life Lessons card of the World Tree. And you know what? Not all quests are equal in length of time. Some are short, some are only 14 days, and that's what you just went through, okay? And, when you come up to the World Tree, this is the end of the journey. The end of the wanderer's journey as he stepped into the Wildwood Forest. And along the way, we've had a couple life lessons cards, no court cards, and a lot of aces, twos, and threes that came up, a couple sixes, and I think there's 1 4 in the last 14 days. So here you've walked this labyrinth after you've come out of the World Tree, right, 14 days ago, and you've walked this labyrinth of pretty much transiting your emotional aptitude, okay? Reuniting with somebody that's been in your, in your life, whether that's, somebody who just happened to pass by, or, something, from a family member, or somebody that's come right back, to you in a love atmosphere. All right, the Two of Vessels is down there, so you are attracting somebody to come back in to help you with your career, to help you with your relationship. Maybe that significant other, right? It could be somebody totally new as well. And, along the way, you've had happiness and joy and a lot of creativity going on. The two aces with the spark of life and the breath of life. All right, so you're thinking about things differently, you're feeling things differently, you're doing things differently, the action piece of it. You've had the feminine energy of the green woman and the seer there, to help nurture you along and, help, protect you as well. All right. And that test that the green woman had, 4 days ago was to pretty much the knowledge and the wisdom that what are you going to do with the knowledge and wisdom that you've gained? All right. You're happy. You're joyful, you're fulfilled. How are you going to take this forward into this new chapter of your journey, right? And, this journey started out with, a challenge and some boredom. You were like, yeah, you know what? I've kind of done this before, but took on an entirely different path. One that you weren't even expecting. It's almost what you didn't even see coming. All right? Who would have thought that somebody was going to come back into your life and drop that message, all right, or give you that insight, or start up that relationship with you again, right? So, as you walked out of that World Tree, you had that childlike curiosity, but again, it started with a challenge. Somebody was jealous of you from the gossip, okay? And you were kind of bored with that whole stuff, and you just said, you know what? I don't want to do this. I want to be happy, And I'm going to transition into that mindset of taking that happiness with me wherever I go. That's the wisdom that you've gained. All right. The final step of that path going up to the door. All you need to do now is turn that knob on that door and walk into it. And when you do, all right, you're going to be encompassed with everything that's transpired this whole year, just not this 14-day journey. Okay. But it's almost like you're looking at the records, the Akashic records on the wall, all right, and talking with your ascended masters and say, you know what? I've completed these 14 days. Thank you for bringing somebody back into my life to give me that message, all right, to understand, not everybody's journey is going to be the same. Thank you for protecting me, right, with the seer. Thank you for nurturing me with the green woman. And you just, you're just in awe of everything that's transpired. And, as a result of that, you gained a little bit of knowledge. You've gained a little bit more wisdom. And you become, you achieved that higher self. All right. And now, achieving that higher self, you have a better understanding of what the spiritual journey is about. All right. Like I said, not every journey is going to be the same. Tomorrow's going to start out as you're walking out that door on the other side of the tree. Okay. When you walk into this tree, you can feel the life of the wildwood forest. You can feel the life of your spiritual journey. You can feel the air that the tree uses to, gather in the nutrients, hitting its branches. You feel all four seasons. The winter, the summer, where everything's good, the fall of dying, the spring of rebirth of life, the hibernation of winter. You can feel the nutrients in the roots sucking up that water because it's well grounded, okay? You are well grounded now. We've seen that in Three of Stones, creativity, okay? The green woman there. The Three of Bows, fulfillment. You're well grounded. The green woman's well grounded. The seer is well grounded. A lot of grounding energy here. And that's manifestation of, the stones energy. All right? So that security, that stability, you've manifested that security and stability within your spiritual journey as you're moving forward. The emotional piece of it, right? Reuniting with somebody, attracting that significant other or that person to give you that message, right? Not getting caught up in the ennui, okay? In the sadness and the boredom, the whole humminess, right? You're staying happy. You're staying joyful, okay? The emotional energy is propelling you forward. It's feeding those roots that you have, okay, that have you grounded. The fire energy, okay, that's there. The creativity is that spark of life and being fulfilled, okay? You can feel that creativity in the tree as it's growing new roots, as it's growing new branches. There is always action. The photosynthesis of the leaves, all right? The changing of the colors, all right? There's always something going on. Right now, maple seeds are falling. So you're always, the seeds are falling, out of the tree. Oak seeds, maple seeds, pine seeds, however you want to look at it. The seeds that you have planted along the way on your spiritual journey, not only for yourself, but for others, spreading that healing journey. So that's the fire energy. Okay, that's the Bows energy. And then you've got the air energy, like I talked about, rustling through the leaves. You can feel it. You can feel it just, giving you opportunity to think as you're in the tree. You can hear the tree think. This is what we want to do next. They always have a plan, okay? There's always that transition of going from one season to the next. There's never any points where it's just kind of like, what? We're not doing anything. We're either living or we're dying. We're either growing or we're not growing. One of the two. And that's the same thing with your thoughts, a breath of life. Use those thoughts to propel you into action for that Ace of Bows as you're moving forward. So now all you have to do as you're approaching the world tree is just open the door. Open the door and walk through and complete that journey. Right? What did this journey take? It took a lot of patience, all right? It took a lot of insight. No court cards down here to mentor you, okay? This was all new opportunities, new beginnings, new quests with the aces and the twos and the threes. There's only 110, which is, that's a completion card as well, okay? So, as you contemplate and meditate what's beyond this door, all right? There's only one way to find out. Walk through it. Walk into the world tree. All right? And once you do, that's when the universe is going to reveal everything that's happened on your journey. And I've just re-summarized everything for you in the last 14 days. Those who seek wisdom and knowledge of the world tree gains the blessings of the universe. So know this. With the green woman and the seer down here, you've gained that blessing. All right, you've gained the blessing of all the major arcana cards, right? And through that, though that journey may be difficult, this one, not so difficult, a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, you preserved through that. You've reached that fulfillment, for that quest. Your quest may have been totally different when you walked out 14 days ago. But the universe had that little arrow, little exclamation point above their head and said, this is the quest you're going to go on. A quest of understanding where you're at, being more creative, having new opportunities, new beginnings, new decision-making points, all right, and being fulfilled. In doing so in a spirit of happiness, joy, and fulfillment. That's, now you've come to that, back to that world tree, and there's a question mark above it saying complete the quest. And when you do so, you're going to get an unlimited amount of experience. You're going to get an unlimited amount of knowledge, unlimited amount of wisdom to take you on your next step. Maybe you take that significant other with you. You share that message with them. Hey, honey, I just completed this journey, and, I want to take it to the next step. Are you along for the ride? Yes or no? And they may be like, yeah, I've enjoyed being with you for the last 14 days. Let's take this on. So now is the time to rejoice and triumph. Breathe in that sweetness, of the air. Drink of the waters of success and enjoy that life energy of the universe. So let's walk through the world tree together, and let's see what happens tomorrow when we walk out the other side. That's today's tarot card of the day, the world tree. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others. If you like a reading, sign up for the stand store down below. Give me a thumbs up. And this is Dee for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.